Yo, what's going on, guys? Cultimush back at it with another video, and in this video, we're going to be taking a look at the top 5 best graphics cards for September. Now, as I've been saying in recent videos, this is a very awkward time if you're buying a graphics card. A lot of GPUs are out of stock, and a lot of prices are still very much fluctuating, so a lot of these prices are all over the place, and if you have a specific budget, there might not even be a good option for you. For example, if you're looking to buy a $160 to $170 graphics card, there really isn't a good option right now. Maybe that'll come when Nvidia releases the GTX 1050, I hope that's the case. Originally, I was expecting the RX 470 to fill that price slot, but with the RX 480 being out of stock in a lot of places, the 470 has really filtered into that $200 price bracket. So yeah, you guys get the idea. It's just a very awkward time to be buying a video card, but I still want to give you my analysis on what is the best video cards to buy in September. The top 5 best video cards for the money. Let's get right into this. So starting things off with number 5, you can pick up the ASUS GTX 750 Ti over on Newegg for $110, and there's a $20 mail-in rebate knocking it down to $90. The 750 Ti to me has been one of the best options if you're looking to buy a GPU on a very tight budget. After the mail-in rebate, you can get this video card for under $100, and if you're spending that kind of money on a GPU, obviously you're not expecting crazy performance, but if you're playing games like League of Legends, World of Warcraft, the 750 Ti will be able to power those no problem. I know with WoW, some of the raids do get crazy, and even a video card like this might not be able to hold up, but you guys get the idea, and even with the 750 Ti on newer games, it can still run games like Fallout 4 at medium settings at 40 frames per second, or The Witcher 3 at medium settings at 30 frames per second. That's not bad performance. It's very comparable to a console, but when you're spending this kind of money on a video card, that's not really that bad. Moving on to number 4, the SAPPHIRE Radeon RX 462GB video card is available for $120. This GPU is pretty much just a step up from the 750 Ti. This does give you pretty solid performance, actually. The performance is comparable to a GTX 950, and that GPU goes for around $140, so this is a bit cheaper. As far as performance goes, this is a very entry-level 1080p video card. You can play games like GTA 5 at 45 frames per second, The Witcher 3 at 35 to 40 frames per second on medium and high settings, so fairly solid performance given the price, but again, just like the 750 Ti, nothing too crazy. I should also mention there is a 4GB model available of the RX 460, so if you guys want to check that out, feel free. That's about $20 to $30 more expensive. Moving on to number 3, the EVGA GeForce GTX 1063GB model is available for $200 flat. That's a pretty good price for the GTX 1060. Yes, it is a 3GB model. I would have really liked if this GPU just had 1 more gigabyte if it was a 4GB video card, but alas, that is not the case. Obviously, there is the 6GB GTX 1060. That's around $250. If you're just gaming at 1080p, the 3GB isn't going to be too limiting, but if you're playing games at 1440p, I wouldn't recommend this at all. But if you're spending $200 on a video card, you're probably not looking for 1440p gaming, so this should be just fine. This offers really great performance for its price. Around 50 to 60 frames per second on a lot of the higher end games at 1080p. Some of the games you won't be able to completely max them out, but with a game like The Division, you can play that at high and get around 50 frames per second. The Witcher 3 is going to run really good. Metal Gear Solid 5 will work well. Deus Ex Mankind Divided. All of the newest games are going to work well. It's not going to always be the consistent maxed out 60 frames per second, but for what you're spending, it's going to give you a really great gaming experience. If the RX 480 4GB model was in stock for $200, I would have recommended that over the 1060, but alas, it is not available. A lot of the RX 480s, even the 4GB models, are like $220, $230 right now, and I don't really think that's worth it. And now the 3GB 1060's main competitor is the RX 470, and I do think the 1060 edges out the 470 just by a tad bit. The 470, however, is a 4GB video card, so just weigh what you want. I personally think the 1060 is a bit better with some of the Nvidia exclusive features like shadow play, but the 470 is also a very capable video card, and the battle between the 1060 and the 470 is probably just going to end with if you want an AMD video card or an Nvidia video card. Finally, the last 2 video cards have been out for a little while. Number 2, the GIGABYTE GeForce GTX 1070 is available for $430. This is an 8GB video card and an absolute beast. Whether you're gaming at 1440p or 1080p, this GPU just destroys games. Now, at 1440p, it does become a bit more of a struggle. A lot of the games games will dip down to 50 to 55 frames per second. If you want a consistent 60 FPS maxing out every game, I would recommend playing games at 1080p. I personally have a 1070 and I do game at 1440p, but I am a bit more lenient with dipping frames, and I don't always need a completely consistent 60 frames per second, but I know a lot of you guys do like that. Whatever resolution you play at, just know that the 1070 is one of the best video cards on the market. It's one of the best selling video cards on the market for a reason. It performs really well, and it does come at a hefty price, but you're getting what you pay for. I should mention that the GTX 980 Ti has been coming in and out of stock and going down to as low as $350. If you guys can find the 980 Ti in stock, that GPU's performance is comparable to the 1070, and in a lot of cases, the 980 Ti is a lot cheaper than the 1070. Currently, as I'm recording this video, I did not find any 980 Ti's in stock for a decent price, so the 1070 is a better option at this very moment, but obviously things change all the time, so just keep your eyes open. And finally, number one, the GIGABYTE GTX 1080 is available for $650. The 1080 is obviously a monster of a video card. This GPU, if you're buying it, I would really recommend to be gaming at 1440p because this can handle a lot of games at that resolution. Even at ultra wide, this GPU does really well. I have a buddy with a 1080 and he plays all his games in ultra wide and it just runs really well. I don't think I have to talk about the 1080 too much. I have a lot of benchmarks with this GPU on my channel. It's a very expensive video card, but it's expensive for a reason. It's for the top of the line gamers, those that want to play at the highest resolutions on the highest end games with the highest frames. That's who the 1080 is being catered towards. Now, there are rumors of a 1080 Ti being released, so if you buy a 1080 right now, you might get burned in the future, but obviously you can't wait forever for GPUs to be released. Comparatively to all the other video cards in the market right now, the 1080, while it is expensive, is going to give you insane performance. So that's going to wrap up this video, guys. Hope you enjoyed. Like I said, a very awkward time to be buying a video card. GPUs going out of stock, GPUs coming back in stock for a little bit, prices all over the place, just a very awkward time. But if you keep your eyes open, you can find some great deals, and there still are some very good options. I just hope NVIDIA releases the 1050 soon, and I hope the RX 480 becomes more readily available so the 470 will go down in price. If the 470 becomes like a $170 video card, that GPU would just be awesome. Right now, I just don't think it's completely amazing, but I'm just rambling at this point. As always, guys, thanks for watching. If you like this video, hit the like button. If not, you can hit the dislike button. If you have a request for a future video, you can leave that in the comment section down below, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace out.